Team play is one of the most important aspects in any Battlefield game, and usually ends up being the main focus in such as the uber popular Conquest and Rush. Hello there everybody, I'm the man called Doom, and today on my new series Battle Talk we're going to be talking about the importance of kits or classes and team play in Battlefield. So I'm going to split this up into 4 different categories to coincide with each kit. I'll tell you the importance of each kit in detail, what they've got up to 7% of gadgets, and also rate them from a 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being obviously the best. And quick disclaimer, I'm also going only to be counting Battlefield 3, 4, and 1, considering those are the currently most played Battlefield games around, you know. And let's just face it, with this, no one plays Hardline anymore. The game's been dead for well over a year. So, let's get into it. Number 1, the Assault Medic. Before Battlefield 1, in Battlefield 3, and in Battlefield 4, the Assault Kit was conjoined with the Medic Kit, so to say. It had the Medic Pouch, the Medic Crate, and also the Defibrillator, aka, you know, the Revive Gadget, and also some pretty cool underbelt attachments such as the M320 underbelt grenade launcher, and the M26 mask, which was called the M26 Mask Destruction, because before patch in Battlefield 3, that thing utterly destroyed anybody in its way. Like, you weren't escaping that shit anytime soon.
Are they breaking through yet?
Along with those, I also had about 3 to 4 different variants depending on what Battlefield game you're playing on, such as the M26 Dart and the M320 Smoke, but you know, I'll let you guess what those do. It kind of gives it away in the name, you know. But for Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, the most essential gadget had to be the Medic Crate and also the Defibrillator. That allows you to revive kill teammates, or even give them health with the Medic Crate. The way you know that they can be revived is that the teammate will have this symbol over their head, go ahead, walk towards the dead body, and it can be revived once. But I believe they can, in some instances, I believe they can be revived the second time. I'm not 100% sure on how to do that, but I believe it is possible. Although for Battlefield 1 is a completely different story. The Assault Kit is more akin to killing and vehicular destruction. At its disposal you have the anti-tank rocket missiles, or basically a rocket gun. You have the 18 mines, 80 grenades, and also some dynamite, which can definitely come in handy when you're destroying some enemy vehicles. But although you're not really going to be using that, because for me I'm not really much of a user of the Assault Kit in Battlefield 1 because it's more noobish in my opinion. But you know, that's just my opinion. Usefulness. In Battlefield 3 and in Battlefield 4, I give it an 8 out of 10. No class is perfect, and it really shows with the Battlefield 1 Assault. Although what it offers is not as much as it does in Battlefield 3 and 4, I usually find myself being a combat medic in both those games. And for Battlefield 1, I really don't find myself using the Assault class. In that, I usually go for a Scout or a Medic. So for Battlefield 1, the Assault class gets a 5 out of 10. Very rarely do I use it, and very rarely do I see people actually going out of the way to be a vehicular destruction machine with the Assault. Number 2, the Engineer. The Engineer class is best known for its air vehicular destruction and also its vehicular repair. Quite ironic. In Battlefield 3 and 4, the Engineer is equipped with a blowtorch which can also remove enemy explosives and also kill if given enough time. In Battlefield 1, it's more of a wrench combined with a hammer thing, and it's basically used the same way, just hold the right trigger if you're on console, or whatever you press when you're on PC. I'm not 100% sure if it has the feature of being able to remove enemy explosives, but at least what I do know is the Battlefield 3 and 4 gadgets. I suppose you have an EOD bot, which is a remote control bot, which can use only repair tools as well. It also can defuse MCOM stations secretly. M15 mines, and also you have the exclusive to Battlefield 4, the infamous M2 slams, which is a C4 type explosive, meaning that it can be stuck to walls, vehicles, practically anything, like the quad bike, VDV buggy, and the PWC. And the only way you can trigger the explosive is being in the vicinity of another vehicle. In Battlefield 1, there are sadly no M2 slams, but there is something similar to that. Similar to that is the Limp Charge, which is the anti-tank explosive, which can be thrown and is practically sticks to anything, explodes within 5 seconds. Also, you also have the World War I motor. You also have a AT and HE crossbows, which are crossbows that shoot explosives at, you know, either a tank or whatever the HE is. I'm not 100% sure what that means. And Battlefield 1 does not engineer kit, although there is the support kit, which is basically both in one. You have the ammo pouch and also the ammo crate. Formerly mentioned the repair tool. And you also, for Battlefield 3 and 4, you have the launchers, which are the RPG-7, the SMAR, Javelin, the AT-4. Also returning from Battlefield 2, you have the Shore, Stinger, and the Exigla, which I just call that for short, which is the IGLA, which are all unlocked by progressing through the class. And also one thing for Battlefield 1, you have a Claymore type tripwire bombs, which they are called tripwire bombs, they're similar to Claymores, with 3 different variants. The Incendiary, which is basically an explosion of fire. When tripped on, you have the tripwire gas, which releases noxious gas, of course, when tripped on, and of course you have the regular explosion for that one. Usefulness. When it comes to Battlefield 3 and 4, I don't really use it a whole bit, but when I do enjoy the hell out of it. Destroying vehicles, and also, you also see those as mostly the most used class for those amazing, only in Battlefield moments, i.e. the jumping out of a jet, destroying another guy with a jet with the RPG, and getting back in a jet. That shit's amazing, right? But in terms of helping a team, it does help a lot, especially if playing Conquest or game modes that have a lot of vehicles. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for that. In Battlefield 1 though, I give it a 6 out of 10, considering it's practically 2 classes in one. You have the repair tool from the engineer, and you also have the support ammo crate, so you know, you practically have 2 character classes at once, and also have access to the awesome LMGs that it has available for you. Number 3, the support. Support is best known for three things. Lots of ammo, big explosions, and some dank LMGs. If you're playing those cities world, they're gonna really destroy people in their favorite grindfest maps such as Operation Metro, and of course you can't forget Operation Locker. Boasting with Claymores, C4, and alongside that you got the XM25 grenade launcher, the Motor Strike, plus the always reliable ammo crate. Not just that, resupplies you, but also resupplies your squad and your team, and in turn gets you 10 or 20 depending on who you resupply. And of course you have the very handy Motor Strike in game modes like Rush. You can definitely expect a lot of kills if shot into an MCOM station, because there'll definitely be a group of people waiting there defending that station with their lives. Of course you have the infamous Claymore. Plant it in a spot of your choosing, wait for a victim, and of course in very highly populated areas you can definitely get a lot of kills with that. But for very populated areas, LMGs are a great way for clearing out rooms, but you can always count on the XM25 if shots are well placed and in a good enough spot. Expect a pretty good kill chain, but of course you can always replace that with the C4. It's still a bit wonky from Battlefield 3's lightly thrown away, but still, in Battlefield 3 it's very useful, and also very useful for very crowded areas. Waiting for a squad of enemies to come through, or even flanking them from behind, C4 got your back. Usefulness, I give the support in Battlefield 3 and 4 is 7 out of 10. Ammo is a big necessity, and also, when it comes to Battlefield 4, you also have 2 ways to resupply your team. You have the ammo pouch and the ammo crate, such you do with the assault medic. You have the health pack and the health crate. So both are a very huge necessity. So if you're gonna go for more team play aspect, assault medics is go. But if you want to be busting through doors, killing lots of people, explosions everywhere, I recommend the support. Number 4, the Recon. Last but definitely not least, we have the Recon or Scout. It's a more practical class in my opinion, because you have the range. Of course, you have the range advantage, but at what cost? Being an easy target for other snipers or just enemies in general, unless you equip the straight pull attachment in Battlefield 3 and 4, or unless you use the Gruer M95 in Battlefield 1. What the Recon has in terms of gadgets up its sleeve for Battlefield 3 and 4, you have the Tugs, a deployable heartbeat sensor, which when placed centers within a 20 feet radius. Also, the radio spawn beacon, similar to Call of Duty's tactical insert. When placed, you have the option to spawn there, and of course your teammates and squad mates can spawn there as well. You get a 10-point bonus for whichever ones do spawn. Also along those, you have the MAV Soulform C4, and this goes into Battlefield 4, the motion sensor, which when thrown like a grenade, wherever it lands, will detect enemies within that area. For Battlefield 1, you've got the K bullets, which are anti-tank bullets, which do light damage to vehicles. You have the Sport Flare, which does exactly what it's called. It's kind of similar to the Battlefield motion sensor, where it lands, it will detect enemies within the area, but in this case it's shot. And of course you have the tripwire, which are basically the exact same as the support tripwires. You have the 3 different options. And you also have some one-off little gadgets. You have the trench periscope, which are basically World War I binoculars. You have the scout decoys, which are decoys which you can place standing, crouch, or prone. One shot it will reveal where they're at on the map. And you also have the sniper shield when placed down on the ground. You can aim through a little hole through it, which is kind of irreliable because it's just really not good to stay in one place at one time. Usefulness. For Battlefield 3 and 4, I give it a 5 out of 10. It can be helpful, but usually it ends up doing more harm to your team and is basically, like I said at the beginning of this, it's a more practical class usage. Sometimes you'll end up doing more harm to your team than you would think that you are. Tugs and motion sensors are great, but it really depends on how you use it, because if you're really good with it, then you can really get a lot out of it and ends up being more cost effective. For Battlefield 1, I give it a 4 out of 10. Its more practical uses is 95% of the snipers. You have to scope out to even be able to rechamber your shot. The spot flare sometimes doesn't work in that case. The K bullets really aren't reliable for destroying vehicles, and you're really just not really going to have that great of a time using it. Unless, of course, you're some base for the sniper rifle, which I'm definitely not, which probably explains why I gave it such a low of a score. But I do dabble in sniping in Battlefield 4. I do like it a lot, but it really doesn't really help out in the long run. So all in all, I say the two best classes in my opinion, and the reason why they matter is the useful ability. An 8 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10 is nothing to shy at, considering they're very close to 10, It's just 2 and 3 apart, For the assault, I gave it a 8, so if you're really going to be a really good combat medic, really use that for Battlefield 3 and 4. But although for Battlefield 1, the assault is not very handy, so don't really go with that. Although for the support in Battlefield 3 and 4 is very good, it's very reliable. You got the ammo crate, which is, cost and necessity. So, all in all, the two best classes to go with are definitely the Battlefield 3 and 4 Assault Medic and the Battlefield 3 and 4 Support. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tune in next time. Video will be up again on Friday. I'll be streaming Wednesday. Don't forget, in hour 30 minutes or maybe even 2 hours. It's not just going to be a Battlefield stream. I'm probably going to be streaming other games over time. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe because it helps me out a lot. When time you subscribe, it makes me style. So I'll see you all in the next one.